Alrighty, story time. So this one time, I decided to play a little joke, a little prank on my mom. Yeah, I was like, "What's up, guys? It's your boy, Thumb That Wiener 26, and today we're gonna be lighting my mom on fire." No, it was nothing like that really, but I did play kind of like a cruel and mean joke to her. Um, so it was April Fool's Day, and I came back from school, and every year my mom knows that I try to get her with something, and I never do. She's too has too much wit for me. Like she understands how to get around jokes.
My job is to serve the Jarl, not waste time talking to travelers.
So I get back from school
Really know anyone.
and I'm like, I know what'll get her. A serious situation, like a car accident or something. And I go home and I called her and I'm like, hey mom, there was a car accident that happened on the intersection of the streets that I live on. She's like, of course, skeptical. She's like, yeah, right, whatever, April Fools. And I'm like, no, really, mom. There's a guy like hanging out of his windshield on top of his hood. There's blood everywhere. Oh, gosh, mom, you really need to believe me. And she's just like, really? Like there's a guy on a hood. Like it was really an accident. And I'm like, yes, mom. And she's like, okay, bye. Just like that, hangs up the phone. But right when she hangs up, the moment she hangs up is the same exact time that I say April Fools to her. I didn't think I got her. Anything, talk.
Just calm down.
Yeah.
What do you know about soul gems?
What do you know about soul gems? They're enchanting.
They are, except the gem is always consumed. They're frail. As
Blah
well as
blah
stone.
blah. Anyway, so
It was dying.
I'm like, I think like I didn't get her, but I decided to call my brother anyways, who was walking around the neighborhood. And I told him, hey dude, I just did a prank on mom, but I don't know if she believes me or not. And he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I told her it was a car accident and everything, and she hung up. And I tried to call her back before calling you, but it just immediately went to voicemail. And he was like, it went straight to voicemail? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, dude, she's calling the police. I'm like, no. How do you figure that? And he's like, because when you're calling the police, no call can go through, no other call can go through. So if you were to be calling the police right now and I were to call you, it would go straight to voicemail on my end because there's like some sort of device or thing that blocks interfering calls when calling an emergency hotline. So I didn't know that, and I'm like, oh no. So I try to call my mom back after after I told my brother and everything. He's kind of like, you're an idiot, dude, mom's gonna be pissed. I'm like, you gotta talk her down or something. And he's like, all right, I mean, I'll see what I can do. So I call my mom back, and she's still asking me about the accident. She's like, is there blood? Like, what's going on? What do you see? Yeah. About that, April Fools. And I heard her tone completely change. She said, what? I'm like, I tried to tell you, but you hung up before I said April Fools. She said, when I get home, I am going to unalive you. Because apparently you can't say the big K word because people are really sensitive. But anyways, Yeah, I told her that. I mean, she told me that, and I was like, uh, I'm sorry. It was like an April Fool's joke, and what is that? It was an April Fool's joke, and you hung up before I even got it out, and then she hung up on me right after.
Where'd you come from?
So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, shoot, what do I do? So immediately I go to my closet and I find every possible thing that she could use to whoop me with. And I was wearing studded belts at the time, and they were like, you know, they were really painful to probably get hit with. So I hit those. I hit all my coat hangers. I hit all my other belts. I hid so much stuff deep into my closet, and I was really hoping she wouldn't find anything. As it turns out, none of that stuff would have mattered anyways. So I wasted time just trying to do all that. But while my mom hung up the phone, she called back the police and told them, hey, you know, false alarm, my son's an idiot, blah blah blah. And you would think, you know, on April 1st, they would get somewhat calls like that every once in a while. If something like that happens, that's kind of a normal thing, maybe.
Once I've made enough money,
I mean, maybe it's just me, and I was just a dumb kid, but I'd like to think that that happens more often than not, that the police get called on April 1st for something, or a crime that didn't happen. Like a joke just gone a little too far.
You went right out to
So,
your fiance.
she called them up, and they're like, she told them what happened. They're like, ma'am, do you understand the gravity of this situation? Like, do you realize that this is against the law and that somebody could have gotten hurt, and if we weren't there to be able to be there because we're responding to the call you made, you know what I'm saying? And they're just throwing coal into the fire that is my mom's rage. And they said, oh, don't worry, you'll still probably need that ambulance as soon as I get home and see my son. And then, you know, they had to talk her down and stuff like that. Like, she was livid.
Farewell.
Really mad at me. Really livid. And I just remember, like, being petrified, looking out the window every couple of seconds. And apparently she picked up my brother. And my brother's trying to talk her down the whole ride back to the house. He gets to, like, they get to the driveway, and she gets out of the car and everything, and my brother had to run around the car and get in front of her, and then he was like, wait, hang on a second, Mom. And she was like, get out of my way or you're gonna get just as bad. And he stepped right up out the way, and it didn't take him, he didn't second guess, he didn't skip a beat, he just stepped right out the way. She went into the house, and I was like, hold on, Mom, give me a sec. And then she was like, she opened up my door to my room, and she took her wedge off, which is like a type of heel. She took her wedge off, and she beat the living crap out of me against my dresser, like in the corner. She whooped me, like whooped me hard. But yeah, I learned a very valuable lesson. Don't prank your mom and expect it not to go as far as it does, and don't get her to call the police, because then you get in a lot of trouble and you'll get really beaten up. That's the story. See ya.